In the world of rap, there are a few laws that are held as sacred, to the extent that if you're able to break these laws, you would basically be an outcast. Or at the very least, you'll be labeled as something that can have an adverse effect on your career. To that end, the biggest crime by far is that of snitching. Snitching is a bad thing, especially when you're snitching on one of your own in order to get out of trouble. That's a violation of the streets. That's a violation of trust, and it makes you a punk. So allow us to show you some rappers who have been caught snitching in one form or another and how it's affected their careers. Number 4, 6ix9ine. If we're being truthful here, we can make this whole list about 6ix9ine and not break a sweat. He's easily the biggest snitch in rap history because of all the press he's gotten for being a snitch and beyond. The most ironic thing about this is that 6ix9ine not only doesn't care about being a snitch, it's almost like he loves it. Not that he'll admit that he's a snitch, mind you. He said multiple times that he's not a snitch for what he did and that I did nothing wrong in the eyes of the law. In terms of the reasons he was arrested, which is hilarious, incorrect, and just plain stupid to say. So let's rewind to explain it all, shall we? This all started when 6ix9ine was looking for some help to get into the rap industry and really make it big. His idea was to be a part of a gang who would use their influence to make him big. This led him to the 9 Trey Bloods, a group out of New York. They agreed to help him in return for access to areas he could get into via being a musical artist, and of course, getting kickbacks from his paychecks. At first, 6ix9ine was totally for it, and sure enough, he started to get some fame in the rap world. But then, over time, his ego got so inflated that he started to be on the outs with the group. But not 2 weeks after firing every member from his street crew, the FBI swooped in and arrested a majority of them, including 6ix9ine. They were charged with a variety of things, including a couple charges that had life sentences attached. 6ix9ine did not want to go to prison. The FBI knew he was the weakest link, so thus they offered him a plea deal, which would ensure he got a lesser sentence. In exchange, he would have to provide evidence against the other 9 Trey Bloods he was arrested with. He couldn't sign that thing fast enough, and within days the world knew that he was a snitch. But he had to deliver the goods, which again, 6ix9ine was quick to prove his worth. He testified not only against other members, but highlighted his own role in the group, structure of the organization, and so on and so forth, in order to give anything that they needed to make their case. Which they were indeed able to do, and every member of the 9 Trey Bloods was arrested alongside 6ix9ine, got booked, and sentenced to various periods of time. 6ix9ine's reward was that he had to remain in prison for another year for his part in the crime. But because of the global lockdown, he was released in April due to being high risk. And the moment he was free and put under house arrest to serve the rest of his sentence, he went back to being a troll, blasting those who dissed him for snitching, because as we all know, 6ix9ine just doesn't care. Number 3, Snoop Dogg. This one is a bit tricky because it hasn't been confirmed, but it has been heavily insinuated that the one and only Snoop Dogg is a snitch. The reasons for that are rather simple. Once upon a time, Snoop Dogg wasn't just a man of the musical world, but a hardcore gangster. Full stop. He had loyalty to certain groups, and that led to him getting charged with some serious crimes, ones that you're not supposed to walk away from given their gravity. Yet, not only did he walk away from it, he got off scot-free, and he never really had a major arrest after that. Plus, he focused on his music career, and we all know where that led. So that raises the question, did Snoop Dogg snitch? It's possible, and it's something that someone, including 6ix9ine, have hinted at in terms of it being true. But of course, the only people who would know that are the government people he dealt with, and Snoop has maintained that he is without a doubt OG and truly loyal. Secrets do have a way of getting out though. Number 2, Drake. Here's another tricky one. Drake, to our knowledge, has never been a snitch in a meaningful way during his rapper career, but some feel he is a snitch after helping local police track down a guy in Toronto who robbed him a couple years before he got famous. So what this really boils down to here is it snitching if you're justified and you're not snitching on someone you know? Because obviously he didn't know that robber, that's why he was so determined to get his stuff back. Plus, as noted, this wasn't a time when he was known as a rapper. It was very much his transitional period between getting out of TV and into music. So he honestly wasn't part of the code of the streets. Plus, if someone robbed you of some serious stuff and the police felt they could get them, wouldn't you help? Regardless of your answer, Drake is one of the best in the industry right now, and he has earned his respect. This snitch moniker hasn't really hurt him. Number 1, the code of the streets. So the 3 we just mentioned are ones who have potentially snitched, did snitch, and really did snitch. But in truth, there's more than likely many others who have snitched in some way, shape, or form. Mainly because some people don't care about the code of the streets, like 6ix9ine. Some feel they can get away with snitching with no consequences, but others, they've taken their anti-snitching methods to the hospital and will likely take it to their grave. Like when Busta Rhymes had the chance to snitch and help find the people who took his bodyguard's life, but didn't. And others who said they wouldn't call the police if they knew a serial killer was next door. That's the code of the streets for you. So binding to some that they won't even think about going so far as to snitch in any way, shape, or form. Because to do that would be a violation. There you go. A look at some rappers who are confirmed to be snitches in one form or another. Were you surprised that the list is so small? Do you think that there are more snitches out there who just haven't been named? Who do you think has the potential to be a snitch? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.